In this video, I'm going to show the best exercises for enlarged prostate relief. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over easy at-home exercises to help reduce the symptoms from an enlarged prostate. These exercises work by helping to reduce tension and tightness around the bladder and the prostate, while also helping to strengthen the pelvic floor muscles for better bladder control and drainage. Each one of these exercises works a little bit differently. To get the best results, go through them all and use what gives you the most relief. With that being said, let's get started. So a big problem that men have is we tend to tighten our pelvic floor, leading to a lot of issues. Here's a really easy exercise called the reverse Kegel that's going to help relax the pelvic floor muscles, reducing urgency and incomplete emptying. So we're going to start seated with very good upright posture. Take one hand, place it right over your belly, right below the ribs. What you want to do is focus on taking a deep breath in through your belly. So when you do this, it should feel like your hand is getting pushed forward just like this. So take that deep breath in and then hold it, and then what you want to do is focus on lightly pushing to start the flow of urination, but obviously don't go. So you're just going to activate those pelvic floor muscles and then hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then you're going to relax, and then repeat that 10 to 15 times. So this is what it looks like. To take this one to the next level though, we can do a similar movement that's going to target some different pelvic floor muscles. So take that deep breath in and hold it, but this time around you're going to lightly push to the point where it feels like you're going to start to pass gas. If you want to pass gas, you're more than welcome to, but you just want to activate those muscles around the anus and the rectum and then hold it for 3 to 5 seconds. Again, repeating that 10 to 15 times. This is an exercise that I would do throughout the day, at least 2 to 3 times a day, just to help keep all of those pelvic floor muscles nice and loose, and I hope it gives you a lot of relief. This is called the wall baby, and what it's going to do is relax the bladder and prostate junction. We're going to start lying flat on our back next to a wall and try to get your butt as close to the wall as possible. Bend your knees roughly at 90 degrees, put your feet together, press them lightly into the wall. What you want to do is press your knees outward as much as you can until you feel a really good stretch forming on the inner part of your thighs working into the groin. Once we feel that, we're going to hold this and now focus on relaxing the pelvic floor muscles as much as we can. So we're going to take 10 to 15 really deep breaths in, focusing on moving through our belly as much as we can. To help out, put your hand right over your belly below your ribs, and as you inhale, it should feel like your hand's raising up, and as you exhale, it should feel like it comes back down. Again, 10 to 15 really deep breaths. But we're going to take this one to the next level and target some more muscles. So what you want to do this time around, as you take that deep breath in, hold it, and now relax your pelvic floor muscles to the point where it feels like you're going to start the flow of urination. Don't let that obviously happen, but hold it for about 5 seconds and then finally exhale and repeat that 10 to 15 times. What we're going to do next is now focus a little bit more on our back side. So as we take that deep breath in, we're going to hold it and now relax the muscles on the back side, especially around the rectum and the anus, to the point where it feels like we can start the flow of passing gas. Hold that for 5 seconds, release it, and repeat 10 to 15 times. I would try to do all 3 of these movements at least twice, but if you do notice that one is helping out a little bit more, at that point, just keep throwing repetitions in until everything is nice and loose. This is called the Pelvic Rocker, and what it's going to do is help relax tight groin and pelvic tissues that may be pressing onto our prostate. We're going to start on all fours in bed or on a floor. Put your feet together and then slowly walk your knees outward to the point where you feel a really good stretch forming on the inner part of your thighs, working into the groin and then finally into the hips. We're then going to walk our hands out like this until we feel a light stretch in our lower back. Once we feel that, we're going to lock in this position by just gripping into the floor with our fingers so they don't slip during this exercise. Let's tuck our chin towards our chest, and then what we're going to do is slowly rock backward, taking our butt towards our heels. The more that you rock backward, the more that you're going to feel a deep stretch form in your back that works into the groin and the pelvic floor. Really focus on feeling that, and then hold this comfortably for 20 to 30 seconds. And during that time period, just do nice, slow, controlled breathing. Let out as much tension as you can. Relax by rocking forward, and then repeat this 3 to 5 times. With each repetition, build into it just a little bit more. To take this one to the next level, instead of keeping our upper body straight, tilt it a little bit towards one side. So I'm reaching towards my right, and then rock backward. You're going to notice it stretches the back and the pelvic floor a little bit differently. So give that a try towards the right and also towards the left. If you notice that any of those positions are really stretching more tightness out, at that point, keep throwing repetitions in until everything is nice and loose. This is called the modified butterfly, and it's going to quickly reduce tension and tightness around the bladder and the prostate. We're going to start lying flat on our back in bed or on a floor. Put your feet together, lightly press them into the floor, and then take your knees and press them towards the floor until you feel a light stretch forming on the inner part of your thighs, working into the groin across the pelvic floor. Hold this for a second or two, release it, and then bring your legs together. Now, just like a butterfly flapping its wings, you're going to press down and come back up like this 10 to 15 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. But we can take this one to the next level and get a much deeper stretch by doing this. So let's build back into our original stretch. And now what we're going to do is take our hands and cup right around our knees. Now slowly pull your knees towards your chest until you feel a deep stretch forming across your buttocks, working into your lower back. And you should also feel that groin and pelvic stretch at the same time. Hold this, and now what you want to do is slowly rock from side to side. So swing towards your right and then also towards your left, moving through your hips as much as possible. Try to do this for 10 to 15 times in both directions. But if you do notice that swinging towards one side, it just really stretches tightness out a little bit more, at that point, I would keep building into that movement over and over again until everything is nice and loose. Here's a really good exercise called the heel raise. What this one is going to do is stimulate the bladder reflex for better drainage while also improving the prostate pumping action. For this one, we just need something sturdy that we can grab onto. The back of a chair works perfectly. You can also use a countertop. So let's start facing the back of the chair, put our hands on it for support, and then what you want to do is have your feet roughly hip width apart, and you're going to place all of your body weight onto the balls of your feet. From there, slowly raise your heels upward towards the ceiling as much as you can. Hold this for a second and then slowly lower your heels towards the floor, but resist against your body weight. So we're going to resist going up and down to work the muscles in both directions. But do this 20 to 30 times, and with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or two. But since we're already in position, let's turn this one into a really good pelvic floor strengthening exercise that will help improve the flow of urination. We're going to do what is called the squat. So what I'm going to do is get back into my original position, but this time around, I'm going to have my feet slightly wider than my hips. And let's point our toes out slightly also to take tension off our knees. From there, we're going to keep our back nice and straight. We're going to bend our knees and then squat or sit our butt down and away from the chair, and go down as far as you can, because the further that you go down, the more that you're going to feel a deep activation of the muscles throughout the legs, buttocks, hips, across even the lower back. But really focus on feeling it in that pelvic floor area. Hold this comfortably for a couple seconds, come back up, take a breather, and then repeat this 10 to 15 times. And with each repetition, challenge yourself by going down a little bit further. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, again, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or two. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.